Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 8. Straight man. But he didn't know who Xiang Cheng was or what kind of life he lived. Love was such a ridiculous of a feeling. Your car is so nice. Zhi Xiaoduo squeezed this sincere sentence out after holding back a long time. You're really too amazing. It's not mine. Xiang Cheng replied, I don't have much money. Just the 400,000 yuan that I got for my house that was demolished. I don't have much money either, I'm saving up. Zhi Xiaoduo said, and then realized that he had acted too shamefully. If he had known earlier, he could have packaged himself as a big boss type. But in retrospect, he didn't actually have any extravagant hopes. Although they previously had a physical contact service between them, they were more like friends now. But you city people like to buy houses. Xiang Cheng said, I'm also considering buying a house, but 400,000 isn't enough. What do you do? Water supply and drainage engineering. Zhi Xiaoduo asked back reflexively, what about you? I'm a duck. Xiang Cheng said. Zhi Xiaoduo almost choked to death. Xiang Cheng, however, remained expressionless as he continued, they all say that. Who? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. My colleagues. Xiang Cheng replied, I don't have any education. I came from the countryside and I worked in Chongqing before I came here. I couldn't find a good job there and my friend introduced me to this one. Damn it, I didn't realize it was a duck job until I arrived. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, are you not a local? You don't have to do that job. Xiang Cheng shook his head and said, no diploma, so I can't find a job. Then he looked at Zhi Xiaoduo and asked, how about you? Are you a local? No, I studied in Guangzhou. My parents didn't impose any restrictions on me. Zhi Xiaoduo replied, after graduation, I lived here alone and became an engineer. After the red light, Zhi Xiaoduo pointed out the way to Xiang Cheng. He couldn't help but peek at Xiang Cheng's profile. He really wanted to take a picture of him with his cell phone. Xiang Cheng stopped his car outside the bakery by the side of the road, glanced at Zhi Xiaoduo, then picked up the ice cream to eat. The ice cream had already melted, the spring breeze outside the window was blowing in. Xiang Cheng turned on some music in the car. The music was very light and as the warm wind blew, Zhi Xiaoduo felt that just like the ice cream, his whole person was melting. At this moment, he kind of wanted to invite Xiang Cheng into his home to sit for a bit. What do engineers do? Is it hard? Xiang Cheng asked. Design things. It's okay. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I design buildings and occasionally work overtime. Saying that, he weakly raised his cell phone and asked, can I take a picture of you? Xiang Cheng replied, woo. Zhi Xiaoduo said, if you're willing, I can get a job ad for you. Smile, come on. Xiang Cheng held the ice cream and smiled. Zhi Xiaoduo quickly pressed the shutter and took a picture of Xiang Cheng smiling while eating ice cream. He was too hot, he pretty much had no bad angles at all, even if you went around him 360 degrees. Do you like men? Xiang Cheng asked. Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo understood, Xiang Cheng was probably someone who had just entered the male public relations profession, so he wasn't very knowledgeable about this industry, and he was very likely a straight man. Did David say that? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. Xiang Cheng thought about it and replied, it wasn't David. Every day, my colleagues say that many of our guests are gay. As ducks, we have to meet our guests' needs. Zhi Xiaoduo's heart thumped as he stammered, I don't like men at all. I'm not gay. It was all of them who wanted me to get an oil massage. They said that male masseuses have great strength and it feels better when they massage, ha ha ha, are you gay? Xiang Cheng nodded and said, I don't like men either, 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 I don't like men either. Ji Xiaoduo's glass heart instantly shattered, and tens of thousands of mola fish died in his mind. So, you really are a straight man. Ji Xiaoduo tidied up the bodies of the mola fish and summoned up the courage to ask, but you are working in public relations. Do you only have relations with men? He didn't know why, but when Ji Xiaoduo faced Xiang Chen, he didn't feel awkward at all. After the initial tension, they could freely talk about things that friends talked about. However, he had already vaguely realized that Xiang Chen wasn't gay. Xiang Chen replied, I don't know, whoever they tell me to do an oil massage for, I do an oil massage for and make some money to eat with. It's hard to make money. To Ji Xiaoduo, it looked like Xiang Chen wasn't pretending at all. If it really was like what he said, and he didn't really come into contact with that aspect of the business, then he definitely wouldn't understand those parts. You're a straight man. Ji Xiaoduo said while laughing and thinking, turns out I overthought things. Xiang Chen didn't understand the sentence but also didn't ask what straight man meant and just said, your brothers treat you pretty well. N. Ji Xiaoduo understood what exactly was going on. Maybe Wang Ren had found David and David had told Xiang Chen that if he wasn't interested in Ji Xiaoduo to make it clear, so as to not let Ji Xiaoduo constantly wonder about it. He then said, I've never looked for a boyfriend, it was Wang Ren who brought me into the circle. But I like you a lot. Ji Xiaoduo then said, with his words not matching his heart, of course, it's not that kind of like, it's just that I want to be friends with you. You feel safe and part of the reason is because I'm lonely Lonely? Xiang Chen seemed to sort of understand Ji Xiaoduo's thoughts. It's not that kind of empty loneliness. Ji Xiaoduo replied, it's just that I've been alone for too long. Alone? Xiang Chen was lost in thought. After a moment, he said to Ji Xiaoduo, you're alone wherever you go. Yes, yes. Ji Xiaoduo said, it's just that kind of loneliness, hey. Wait. The bakery was closing up shop and Ji Xiaoduo immediately got out and bought a cake. The shop attendant turned his head and exclaimed, it's you. I was wondering who it was with a BMW that parked there for so long. Ji Xiaoduo said bye-bye to him with a smile, took the cake into the car and put it in on the dashboard. He then said to Xiang Chen, thank you for your present on my last birthday. Xiang Chen raised his hand and said goodbye to Ji Xiaoduo. He watched him get on his bicycle and turn into the neighborhood, and only then did he back up. After he backed up, he took off his sunglasses, rolled down the window, and stuck a hand out. He looked at the building outside, and after watching for a long time, he confirmed that there were no problems with the building where Ji Xiaoduo lived. Then, he drove the car around the neighborhood a few times before getting out of the car. The shop attendant of the bakery came out after closing the shop and looked at Xiang Chen curiously. Xiang Chen was crouched down on one knee. He bent over, plucked up some grass on the ground with his fingers, sniffed it, then put it into his mouth to chew. The corner of the shop attendant's mouth twitched. A tall, handsome, rich man, driving a BMW X6 was squatting in the neighborhood eating grass. It obviously overturned his worldview. Xiang Chen confirmed that the Yao hadn't come back to find Ji Xiaoduo because there was no Yao Qi nearby, and only then did he get in the car and drive away. When Ji Xiaoduo got home, he made countless copies of the photos, hiding one in every single place possible so as to make sure they couldn't be deleted accidentally. The next day, in the cafeteria, Ji Xiaoduo's best female friend looked at him with her mouth wide open, unable to say a word for a while. You like a duck? His friend asked. What duck? Ji Xiaoduo said, it's male public relations. Male public relations. His friend said, what male public relations? Ducks are ducks. Ji Xiaoduo gritted his teeth and stressed, he doesn't do that, he's also very picky. He doesn't take anyone who isn't hot. And he said he was a straight guy. His friend said, "You like a duck? You've lost your mind, ba. What straight guy not taking someone if they're not hot? How's that a straight guy? Go ahead, bend him ba, you've already bent a lot of your college roommates. Wasn't Wang Ren bent by you? Last time he even said he liked you, but you turned your nose up at him. Zhiziaduo, I didn't bend him. Wang Ren and I are just brothers, and he didn't get bent because of me. And Xiang Cheng is really hot. He's really my type. He has such a manly feel to him. He's super cool. When he talks, he really has an overbearing air. If you could have such a good boyfriend. Let me see." His friend reached out and asked, "Do you have any pictures?" "You can only look." Zhiziaduo carefully pulled up Xiang Cheng's photo, held his cell phone and let his friend look from afar, not letting her touch it. "Aya!" His bestie howled, "Hand it over to Lao Niang." His friend snatched away the cell phone, and Zhiziaduo squealed. His best girl pal scrolled through the pictures a few times casually. "Where's the hot guy?" Zhiziaduo. "You call this a hot guy?" His friend couldn't agree with Zhiziaduo's aesthetics at all. In fact, in the 11 years since they met, their tastes had never lined up. Zhiziaduo said seriously, "Use your conscience to cooperate with me here, is he not hot?" "He's at most above average ba." His bestie said, "I forgot where I've seen this kind of loyal and honest man before. Is he hot? Even this quality can come out to be a duck? You can just see how bad the industry standards are right now. I might as well find one for you any." Forget it, forget it." Zhiziaduo said, "The types you like are all beautiful men who would fall over as soon as the wind blows. I'm not good with taking a bite out of that. Don't you think he's really hot? In person, he has a good temperament. He doesn't look like a male public relations person at all. He's just like a prince." His bestie had been stunned by him into utter confusion, so she didn't discuss this with Zhiziaduo anymore. Zhiziaduo took over something to eat and said, "I think he likes me but he doesn't realize it, yet." Wang Ren even said he usually doesn't take customers but he took me on because I'm hot. Come on ba. His friend didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "You're too pure. Do you really think that's all true? All male public relation people say that now. Do you think he will tell you if he had rolled around in the sheets with an old man just the day before?" Zhiziaduo's glass heart landed on the ground with a crash and shattered. Seeing that he was about to cry, his friend hurried to comfort him and said, okay, actually it's possible that he likes you. Amid countless middle-aged men with big bellies, you're like a clear spring, okay ba." Zhiziaduo let out another hey and said, "He has a lot of money, he drives $1 million car. You should also give one to him." His bestie said, "How much money have you saved? Take him on as a sugar baby and give him a Land Rover ba." "I only saved 600,000 yuan. Zhiziaduo said, "I still want to buy a house. Think about it, if I confess to him and we get together, I can't just let him continue to do public relations, right? Otherwise, it can't be that he'll accompany clients outside and come back with money to spend our lives together." "Why not?" his friend asked, "Don't you think that's very cute? A duck is also a man, and a duck can also have a lover. A good man with a sense of responsibility would receive guests outside to make money as a duck, and then return home to give his little Xiao flowers. Doesn't that show a lot of love?" Zhiziaduo began to shield himself from his bestie's words and entered into monologue mode. If we were together, he would be used to a life of driving million yuan cars and definitely wouldn't normally save money. So, he definitely wouldn't want his living standards to drop unless I'm also rich. But then on the other hand, if it's like that, I don't want to keep him as a sugar baby. If you like him, then persuade him to marry you and leave the business, his bestie said. The corner of Zhi Xiaoduo's mouth twitched. His bestie wanted to say more when suddenly she thought of something. No way. His bestie said, show me the picture again. You can only look at it but don't touch it. Zhi Xiaoduo took out his cell phone and showed it to his friend from afar. His bestie once again snatched it over from him, an expression of surprise on her face. Motherfucker. His bestie yelled, isn't this my cousin's friend? Zhi Xiaoduo, what? His friend, my cousin is engaged. What's going on with this? I saw them talking last time. Zhi Xiaoduo was terrified out of his wits and exclaimed, no ba. Is your cousin a gay man cheating someone into marriage? His bestie and Zhi Xiaoduo looked at each other. Zhi Xiaoduo immediately said, you don't get excited yet. Let me investigate a bit, definitely don't start busting balls. Wang Ren said that he doesn't pick up customers casually, so maybe he's just a friend he met during business ba. Wait. His bestie was obviously shocked and said, what is going on here? In addition to Zhi Xiaoduo and the handsome little shop attendant from the bakery, his bestie's 3 outlooks had also been broken to pieces. That's not right. His bestie opened her mouth with an expression that conveyed, what exactly is going on here? Zhi Xiaoduo got nervous and asked, did your cousin have sex with him? Don't scare me Weevu, exactly what's going on here? That man is my cousin's friend. His bestie was dumbstruck and said, but his clothes are all different. What's going on here? Zhi Xiaoduo was completely bewildered. The thing was, a month ago, just after New Year's, Zhi Xiaoduo's friend had gone out for an outing with her cousin. Yet as a result, her cousin had answered the phone, got out of the car at Tianhe Park, and had a chat with a person waiting there. So, Zhi Xiaoduo's friend had curiously taken a picture. After her cousin had gotten back in the car, Zhi Xiaoduo's friend had asked who this man was. Her cousin had casually replied, a friend. That friend was Xiang Cheng. That had been a very commonplace matter, and that man had also been very quiet. From beginning to end, he hadn't even said a word to Zhi Xiaoduo's friend. But why had his bestie taken a picture? It was just that this quiet as a chicken man's clothes were too unusual. When Zhi Xiaoduo's friend showed him some photos she had taken in the car, Zhi Xiaoduo was again totally confused. The photo showed both his friend's cousin and Xiang Cheng, 2 tall, handsome men talking to each other. His friend's cousin was dressed in Armani tailored clothing, with one outfit worth at least 20,000 yuan or more. Xiang Cheng was wearing grey camo, a pair of liberation shoes, and he was carrying a shopping bag that had the logo for an infertility clinic on it while also holding an empty can of iced black tea as he stood next to the garbage can. His hair was greasy and sticky looking. He looked very sincere as he lit Zhi Xiaoduo's friend's cousin's cigarette. Zhi Xiaoduo. Wait a minute. Zhi Xiaoduo said, let me calm down a bit. What's going on here? His bestie was a little uncertain and said, do you think this is him? Is he filming for something? It should just be that he looks like him, right? It's not the same person, right? This is obviously him. Zhi Xiaoduo was about to flip the table and said, why are migrant workers all so hot? I'm going to love him to death. The two of them had no words for each other. According to her woman's intuition, his bestie felt that there must be something unusual going on here and said, come on, call now to ask what exactly is going on here. Wait a minute. Zhi Xiaoduo said, send me the photos first. Zhi Xiaoduo tricked her into giving him the photo and fulfilled all his wishes. Looking at Xiang Cheng, who was tanned and thin like a beggar, he felt that he could compete with Brother Sharp. Then he asked, what exactly does your cousin do? Just messing around to get some money to eat with and waiting for death, his friend said, he idles around, he doesn't have any serious work. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I don't usually hear you mention him. Because he's always traveling. His friend said, one moment he's going to Thailand, and the next to Xinjiang. He never stays that many days at home. Every time he goes, he comes back completely filthy from head to toe, or he fractures something. Last time he went to Chengdu, and when he came back, he said that he was pushed down Mount Imei by a monkey and broke his leg. Zhiziaduo. All in all, the more I talk about it the more I wanted to cry. His bestie looked at her cell phone and said, I'm going on a blind date, will you accompany me? Zhiziaduo was too busy and said no, he had to go back to work overtime that night to review some drawings. His friend was very curious about the relationship between Xiang Cheng and her cousin. As a tall, handsome, and rich man, theoretically, he shouldn't have a gay friend who picked up garbage. So, Zhiziaduo was given an almost impossible task. He was to call him and get to the heart of the matter by asking, what exactly was his relationship with his friend's cousin. His bestie's family was involved in investment banking, and they had known each other since they were in middle school. Her cousin had a fortune of 20 million to 30 million yuan and had recently become engaged. If this matter was dragged out into the open and it exploded in all their faces, then that would be terrible. Zhiziaduo didn't know what to do at the moment, and after thinking about it, he could only call Wang Ren. Hello? Darling, Zhiziaduo said. Talk quickly, it was noisy at Wang Ren's side. Lao Zi is about to win this hand. Zhiziaduo said, I want to ask you something. Wang Ren asked, is it about the thing with Xiang Cheng? I called him, and he said he likes you very much and wants to recognize you as his ditty. Damn it, why didn't you call him all this time? No. Zhiziaduo said, I wanted to ask you, are Xiang Cheng's friends all gay? Wang Ren said, of course not. He also helps clients and other friends do business behind the scenes, isn't that the main business of male public relations? Besides receiving guests, they also take a cut there. Zhiziaduo was relieved, but this couldn't count as the final question to be answered. Just as he was thinking about how to confirm Xiang Cheng's relationship with his best friend's cousin, Wang Ren said, hey, let me ask you, Chi Xiaomola, are you free this weekend? I want to do something with you. Zhiziaduo asked, what, help you go over a drawing? Wang Ren said, go over what drawing? Lianhua Mountain, let's go see the peach blossoms. We'll drive ourselves, it's 2 days and 2 nights, are you coming? Zhiziaduo thought about it and said, if I can get up in time, I'll go ba. Wang Ren said, I'll pick you up on Friday, it's decided. Take a bath, then lie on the desk at the company to wait for Gig ba. Zhiziaduo could only postpone discussing this. Every night when he looked at Xiang Cheng's photo, he was about to lick the screen. Was he hot? In fact, he was just okay, but Zhiziaduo's tastes were just closer to this type, and as soon as he met someone he liked, he would really like them. Especially those migrant worker clothes, they were so strange. Why would he appear like this? For the entire week, the whole design institute had been working overtime to hurry up and complete the drawings. Zhiziaduo was so busy that his feet didn't even touch the ground. Looking at this situation, he might still have to work overtime during the weekend. They were pressured 3 or 4 times, but fortunately, the boss of the water department worked desperately and nearly dragged himself to death in front of the computer while spitting out blood. Everyone was busy enough to overturn the skies, so they finally caught up with all the drawings by Friday. And like that, Zhiziaduo's weekend flower appreciation gathering was saved. Whether to make flat slabs or ribbed slabs depends on the budget. Zhiziaduo looked at the diagram and stamped it while roaring at the phone, you're even asking me this? How can I know what your budget is? All around him was the chaos of their battle, and Zhiziaduo was still on a long-distance call giving guidance on another person's diagram. More than 300 diagrams had been printed since the boss signed them at 5 p.m., and everyone was running around like they were at war. As soon as Zhiziaduo hung up, Wang Ren called again to urge him, Boss Chi. Have you finished yet? The car has been waiting for you downstairs for a long time now. We're finishing up the diagrams. Ji Xiaoduo said at his wit's end. If you talk any more, I won't go. Okay, okay, okay. You're the most awesome, you're the most powerful. Wang Ren said. Ji Xiaoduo said, how about you guys go first, and I'll drive over there on my own tomorrow. Waiting for you, Wang Ren said. Ji Xiaoduo hung up the phone and had to seal and sign things quickly. His head was spinning, his eyes were glazing over, and he still wasn't finished at 6:30. During that time, he was called away by the boss again. The phone rang incessantly and a moment later, Wang Ren called the company. Someone called out, Xiaoduo. Your friend said he's going to come up and sit a bit. Okay, okay. Ji Xiaoduo said, you just let him sit outside and give him a cup of coffee, and it should be good. Hey. I'm about to do it. Ji Xiaoduo ran madly all the way over there again, took over another stack of diagrams, carried them over, spread them out on the table, took out his pen, and looked down at them. Someone came over behind him and looked at his diagram without saying anything. Ji Xiaoduo thought it was an apprentice, so he held his pen, turned around, and said, the boss of this place said it's passable but it's not okay according to my standards. This part must show it to a rebar extracting master. Suddenly, Ji Xiaoduo nearly fainted. Xiang Cheng was standing behind him, dressed in exercise clothes, tall and big, with his hands down at his side. He looked at Ji Xiaoduo seriously, let out an N and said, don't be angry. His colleagues around him instantly laughed. Ji Xiaoduo's heart nearly expired, his hand covering his chest, and he stood in front of the table, panting with his back to Xiang Cheng. How are you? Came to pick you up. Xiang Cheng said, you take care of your work first, don't mind me. If you have something to say, just say it, don't get angry. Ji Xiaoduo, Wang Ren, he. Mr. Wang and them have gone to Lianhua Mountain. Xiang Cheng said, they told me to take you there and play for 2 days. It's not urgent, take your time. After you finish looking everything over, I'll take you out to eat first. End chapter. Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 9. Peach Blossoms. Why didn't he mention it earlier? The giant of happiness lifted a huge hammer and instantly smashed Ji Xiaoduo into a flattened piece of soft paper. From the countless buildings that Ji Xiaoduo designed, fireworks shot out, filling the sky with a series of explosions. A beautiful stage opened its curtains on a splendid prelude, and the leisurely, brilliant sunlight of Roman holiday shone in. Xiang Cheng, refined and courteous, held Ji Xiaoduo's hand in his own, and his other hand held a flute of champagne as he stood by a fountain, giving him a warm smile. In an instant, a meteor shower arched over the horizon, and on the surface of the sea, millions of mola fish floated belly up, all of them beginning to dance. Xiang Cheng said, the color of your face doesn't look too good. Are you feeling ill? You should take a break. Ji Xiaoduo hurriedly said, you sit, I'll be good in just a moment. Ji Xiaoduo pushed a swivel chair over, letting Xiang Cheng sit down. His own heart thumped loudly. He looked at his blueprints for a long while without knowing at all what he was looking at. He turned his head to the side to sneak peeks at Xiang Cheng, only to find that he was reading Ji Xiaoduo's reference books while sitting in front of his desk, and he thought, no way, can you understand them? Ji Xiaoduo's entire being was not in the right state, and in his heart, 2 small mola fish were engaged in a constant tug of war. Mola fish A told him to hurry up and finish so that he could go out and have a date, but Mola fish B said that if he didn't look at the diagrams carefully and the building collapsed, people would die. Mola fish A then said, who cares if the building collapses? Our family's Zhiziaduo is only in charge of the drainage system, not the structural parts. At most, one of the sewage pipes will leak. In the midst of his conflict, Zhiziaduo managed to finish looking over the drawings at a speed that seemed to last an eternity. After he signed off on them, he said to the big boss, "I'm leaving now." "Boss Lin." The boss of the water department said, "Wait, Xiaoduo, while you're at it, help me." As Xiaoduo turned his head, his killing aura filled the room. The boss immediately fell silent like a cicada in winter and he replied, "Have fun on your trip." He. Xiaoduo chuckled warmly. Right now, it felt as if millions of alpacas were joyously scampering about in Xiaoduo's heart as he rushed through the office like the wind. After climbing into Xiang Cheng's car and fastening his seat belt, his vision swam with vertigo, and he suddenly found that Xiang Cheng's car was once again different. Today, he was driving a Land Rover. "What do you want to eat?" Xiang Cheng asked. "Whatever," Xiaoduo responded, smiling. "Pick your favorite but don't make it too expensive." "It's my treat." "Thank you for coming to pick me up." Xiang Cheng replied, "I'm not familiar with Guangzhou." Xiaoduo said, "Do you eat Japanese food?" Xiang Cheng responded, "I don't care." On their journey, the car passed by the street lights beginning to glow with light, and they turned and merged into the night traffic of the city. Xiaoduo recalled that Xiang Cheng was reading about the standards for the water supply and sewer system in his office, and he suddenly asked, "Can you actually understand my reference books?" "To tell you the truth, I couldn't, but I've also studied construction previously," Xiang Cheng said before driving into the parking space. "I only started in my current field after changing jobs." Xiaoduo nodded. Xiang Cheng then asked, "What is a rebar extracting master?" Xiaoduo asked curiously, "Before, which construction division did you work in?" Xiang Cheng replied, "The brick moving department. We were in charge of pushing around little carts loaded with concrete." Xiaoduo laughed loudly, saying, "Stop joking, the structural group hates them. A rebar extracting master is in charge of pulling out the rebar that you've planned for and designed around. They're in charge of reducing costs for the real estate company, and this way, there's less rebar, so they can reduce the costs of building it. But pulling out rebar has a lot of rules, because if you pull it out randomly, then the buildings will collapse, so they must be very experienced people." Xiang Cheng nodded, indicating that he understood. Xiaoduo brought him to a Japanese restaurant. As soon as they went in, they were asked to take off their shoes. The menu was also very simple. When Xiaoduo saw that Xiang Cheng's socks had 2 holes in them, and the socks were of different colors, he suddenly had a feeling of thunder rumbling overhead. However, he also felt that it was very funny, and he hid his laughter by pretending that he hadn't finished looking over the menu. Xiaoduo's sock-clad feet touched Xiang Cheng's under the low table from time to time, sending ripples across his mind. "You're pretty amazing. Do you guys have job examinations?" Xiang Cheng asked. "Have you passed them?" "A first-class water supply and drainage engineer test," Xiaoduo answered. "I've taken the test but the results haven't come out yet. So far, I've only passed the second-class exam, and if I can pass the first-class one, I won't need to go to work anymore. All I'll need to do is put my certificate out there as an affiliation, and I'll be able to make 400,000 in 3 years. If you don't go to work, then what do you want to do?" Xiang Cheng asked. "I don't know, I haven't decided yet," Xiaoduo responded. "Plus, it's a really hard exam, I bet that I won't be able to pass it this year." Xiang Cheng replied, "I couldn't tell at first that you're pretty important in your department, with a group of people circling around you. Your major must have been pretty good." Xiaoduo smiled a little self-consciously as he asked, "How about you? What plans do you have for your future?" Xiang Cheng thought for a bit, before saying, "I don't know. I was tricked into coming here and becoming a duck. I'll probably quit after a while. I want to go back to my old line of work, but even after working myself to death, I only got paid a little bit, so I couldn't keep working in that job. They don't even count overtime. The leaders often made things difficult for me, and they look for every excuse to dock my pay. Zhi Xiaoduo's heart blossomed with emotion, thinking, how about you quit right now, and we can start dating. He didn't know what exactly Xiang Cheng's old line of work had been, but it was probably construction. His description was spot on. A construction work was truly a place where you could work to death and use your life to trade for wages. He worked overtime all the time, and he was often beset with difficulties and docked pay. But Xiang Cheng sighed again and said, even as early as the beginning of this year, I was thinking of forgetting all about the past, changing up my life, and getting a fresh new start, but I still can't let go of the past. What is this? Is it raw? Xiang Cheng looked oddly at a plate of surf clam sashimi. Zhi Xiaoduo put some wasabi on one piece and fed it to him with his chopsticks, pink bubbles floating off from his head. Xiang Cheng immediately began to cough as he choked on the wasabi to the point that tears were coming out his eyes. To think that he had never had wasabi before. Zhi Xiaoduo's feelings towards Xiang Cheng were immediately overturned. Drink some tea, Zhi Xiaoduo said hurriedly. Xiang Cheng, while sporting an odd expression, waved his hand. He had tears running down his face. It's too strong, Xiang Cheng said. I know, it's wasabi. Zhi Xiaoduo smiled. I like the feeling of wasabi, but you must not have had this very much before. Xiang Cheng said, before, there was a big boss who invited me out for dinner. There was wasabi there, and we also drank Lafite. One bottle was more than 20,000. The warm light of the lamp enveloped Xiang Cheng's eyebrows and eyes. In this entire world, it was as if there was only this one lamp shining down from above his head, lighting up his hair and his eyebrows, which were both warm and firm. Zhi Xiaoduo had drunk a little sake and his face was red. Some people would go into a frenzy after drinking, while others wouldn't speak at all. Zhi Xiaoduo was the latter kind, the type that quieted down after drinking alcohol. He wanted to ask many questions, but he didn't ask a single one, and if the two of them were able to just sit here quietly like this, that would be for the best. What are your dreams? Xiang Cheng ate a little sushi. He seemed to be pretty interested in the wasabi, but this time, he put less on. Zhi Xiaoduo's ultimate goal in life was obviously to become a tall, rich, and handsome man and climb up to the summit of his life, or to marry a tall, rich, and handsome man and climb up to the summit of his life. Of course, this was something he was too embarrassed to say. After thinking about it for a bit, he said, going out to see the sights. It's too annoying going to work all the time, and if I can hang up my certificate, then I can go out on vacation. Xiang Cheng nodded. He seemed to be a little more restrained in the Japanese restaurant, as if he was thinking about something. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, how about you? World peace, Xiang Cheng said matter-of-factly. For everyone to live and work in contentment and live well. Zhi Xiaoduo laughed loudly. He felt that Xiang Cheng was very amusing and he lifted his tea to clink cups with him. After eating dinner, Zhi Xiaoduo came out to pay the bill. Xiang Cheng said, I don't have money, they haven't handed out this month's wages yet. Zhi Xiaoduo chuckled and said, of course I'll pay. Xiang Cheng didn't try to fight him for the check either, and after coming out and feeling the wind on him for a bit, Zhi Xiaoduo more or less sobered up a little. Xiang Cheng was deep in thought the entire way, and when they got to the gas station, Xiang Cheng pulled out a large handful of notes. Zhi Xiaoduo hurriedly said, let me. Zhi Xiaoduo filled up the car's gas tank, thinking about how Xiang Cheng was a young master. His work was basically him using his good looks to earn wages, making his customers like him, before wholeheartedly allowing them to foot his bills. When he got to this point, Zhi Xiaoduo once again felt that his own love was shrouded in dense fog. At 12 o'clock, Xiang Cheng drove Zhi Xiaoduo up the mountain. Wang Ren and his group were currently playing mahjong animatedly. Wang Ren said, "You go get your own rooms. You two came the latest." With that, Xiang Cheng and Zhi Xiaoduo took up accommodation in the last room with one large bed. When they were heading up the mountain, the cherry blossoms that covered the slopes danced by under the glow of the streetlights. Zhi Xiaoduo felt that time seemed to slip right past him. Such a beautiful time had disappeared just like that. "Tonight, do you want me to give you an oil massage?" Xiang Cheng asked. "I'll pay." "No, no, no," Zhi Xiaoduo immediately said. "Let me buy." Xiang Cheng pulled out a pile of folded $10 bills. Zhi Xiaoduo had entirely forgotten about the topic of money, but now that they mentioned it, he immediately remembered again. The money for the 2 nights in the room and the deposit had come from him originally, but Zhi Xiaoduo still took the initiative and paid for this as well. After getting a room, Xiang Cheng didn't say anything. He went to take a shower, and Zhi Xiaoduo, his hands linked in front of his knees, sat on the bed. He sighed in his heart. In Xiang Cheng's eyes, he was exactly the same as those customers who treated him well, who completely and willingly pulled out money for him, who covered his food and lodgings and took him out to play. The sound of the mahjong tiles outside stopped temporarily, and Xiang Cheng, drying his hair with a towel, walked out, saying, "Go wash." Zhi Xiaoduo nodded and went into the bathroom. After coming out, the two of them laid down shoulder to shoulder on the bed. Xiang Cheng pressed down the various buttons on the controller, before he let out a sigh. "Why are you sighing?" Zhi Xiaoduo alertly heard that almost indiscernible sigh. "Nothing much, sleep ba." Xiang Cheng turned to the side to turn off the lights. In the darkness, Zhi Xiaoduo rolled around, completely unable to sleep. He wondered, if he reached out a hand to touch Xiang Cheng and hold his hand at this time, would he refuse? Or would he say, 400 for a snack? "Let me give you a confirmation slip first." Xiang Cheng. "Do you know Kikai?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked in the darkness. "Kikai?" Xiang Cheng asked, not understanding. "Chiwen." Zhi Xiaoduo said his name. Kikai was his best friend's older cousin. Xiang Cheng asked warily, "How do you know that I know him?" "Well," Zhi Xiaoduo said, "I'm good friends with his cousin, and his cousin said that you looked really handsome." "Is Kikai also one of your customers?" "No." Oh, Zhi Xiaoduo wanted to ask how they had met, but continuing to ask just like this felt like he was trying to interrogate him about his family. But after a while, Xiang Cheng spoke a sentence that almost sent Zhi Xiaoduo falling off the bed. "Xiang Cheng, he's my co-worker." Zhi Xiaoduo. In Zhi Xiaoduo's mind appeared an image of Kikai, wearing a suit, horsing around with a group of ducks, being a male public relations figure. His soul immediately left his body. "You guys were at the same club before?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked delicately. "No, no." Xiang Cheng immediately realized the different interpretations that sentence had, and he explained, "My old line of work." "Oh," Zhi Xiaoduo said, but he couldn't figure it out and asked, "Construction? Did you guys move bricks together?" Xiang Cheng didn't respond, instead changing the subject. "My cell phone's broken, and I have his number on it. I'll call him for you when we get back." "No need," Zhi Xiaoduo responded, finally relieved. Zhi Xiaoduo knew that his small tricks had definitely been guessed at, and he couldn't help but feel extremely awkward. A moment later, he reached out a hand and stroked Xiang Cheng's broad, warm palm, before placing his hand in that palm. Either way, he had already paid for it, so holding hands should be alright ba. As Zhi Xiaoduo tried to guess at what Xiang Cheng would say, he caressed his fingers. But Xiang Cheng didn't say anything at all, instead grasping Zhi Xiaoduo's palm with his hand. Zhi Xiaoduo felt that he had reacted to that motion, and his heart thumped violently. Given an inch and taking a yard, he said, "Can I hug you?" Xiang Cheng generously opened his arms wide, pulling Zhi Xiaoduo into his own embrace. He was wearing a set of cotton pajamas and his chest was very warm. Zhi Xiaoduo pillowed his head on his arm. After drinking some wine and being blown by the wind that night, his head hurt a little and he didn't want to do anything else. Just being held like this was good enough. "Do I need to pay to hug?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked amusedly. Xiang Cheng replied in good humor, "If it were other people, they would have to pay, but for Didi, it's free." Zhi Xiaoduo began to smile. The room was quiet. A moment later, Xiang Cheng continued, "I never let people hug me randomly. It depends on my mood." Wang Ren told me before, Zhi Xiaoduo said. Xiang Cheng continued, "David said that even though I have to be a duck, I still want to keep my good name." Zhi Xiaoduo chuckled at that, but he then felt a little embarrassed. He said, "These few days are delaying your work, Ba. I have some matters to take care of on Mount Lianhua," Xiang Cheng responded. "Some matters?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. "A business trip," Xiang Cheng responded. Business trip? To keep a customer company?" Zhi Xiaoduo found this pretty inexplicable. Was it an oil massage? He didn't keep asking, but instead, Xiang Cheng felt that Zhi Xiaoduo was shivering a little. "Are you cold? Are the blankets too thin?" "Woo, no. Zhi Xiaoduo's entire body was snuggled into Xiang Cheng's embrace, and he was so emotional that he was trembling. Gradually, he began to grow sleepy, but he didn't want to sleep. He felt that this was so nice. If time could pause right at this moment, that would be nice. What business trip, all of that could fuck off. Zhi Xiaoduo slowly fell asleep. In the middle of the night, he heard a quiet commotion, but he was so sleepy that he couldn't peel his eyelids open. He reached a hand out to feel by his side, only to find that Xiang Cheng wasn't there. Zhi Xiaoduo was startled awake at that, and he sat up, looking to his left and right. "Xiang Cheng?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. The room was dark, and a small amount of light shone in from the outside. Zhi Xiaoduo rose up and took a look at his phone, which indicated that it was currently 2:25 a.m. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't turn on the lights. He pushed open the window of the lodge and peered outside, only to see that there was a piece of paper stuck on the window. He thought it was a message from Xiang Cheng, but when he peeled it off and looked at it, there was a Xiang character written on it, and it was being held in place by a little golden evil warding statuette. Zhi Xiaoduo. That was a piece of yellowing parchment. Zhi Xiaoduo folded it up well, putting it together with the evil warding statuette into his pocket. At the same time, he heard the sound of a vehicle outside, and it didn't seem too far away. Where had Xiang Cheng gone? Zhi Xiaoduo suddenly remembered that he was here on business. Had he left in the middle of the night to go keep a customer company? Zhi Xiaoduo crept out on tiptoe, and in the lodge made of wood, he did his best not to make any noise. He used the flashlight on his phone to light his way, and a gust of wind blew by, causing him to immediately feel a little chilly. So scary. Without knowing why, the hairs on the nape of his neck stood up. He peeked into the yard and saw that there was a point of light in the distance. It looked like the headlights of a car, so he started walking that way. He hid behind a cherry tree, and he saw a moped with its headlights on. The headlights were extinguished, and a man clambered off. Xiang Cheng was standing in front of the headlights. "It's up to them," Xiang Cheng said. "Saving lives comes first. If they keep it around, it will kill more people." "Has the actual cause of the car accident been figured out?" The man's voice responded. The victim of the homicide had started his own business and kept a mistress. His wife, through who knows what means, spent a large sum of money so that she could fuck with them. When she made the wish, Perhaps she said the wrong words, but the geisha manipulated that human greed of hers. It led her to murder both her husband and his mistress. The wife is now currently trying to commit suicide. How did she spend a large sum? How did she want to fuck with them? Xiang Cheng then asked. I cannot inform you of that, the man replied. The association has records, but you won't be able to find them. Xiang Cheng fell silent and the red dot of his cigarette flashed in the darkness. Zhi Xiaoduo could dimly grasp what was going on. Someone had hired a criminal syndicate to carry out a murder, and after killing the person, it was now in hiding on the mountain. They wanted Xiang Cheng to go and get rid of it, but could he do it all on his own? Should he call the police? Xiang Cheng didn't say anything, instead turning to leave. The man asked, should I call a few helpers for you? No need, Xiang Cheng replied. It knows that I will come, and if you call in too many people, then it won't be interesting. While saying this, Xiang Cheng started walking towards the side of the road. The man whistled once and said, you've started dating someone. Xiang Cheng. The man continued, who was that kid from that day? A ditty, Xiang Cheng responded. Why can't I recall that you had a ditty? But just giving you a heads up, your ditty has Yao energy on him, as if he's been marked by something. Still smiling, the man climbed onto his moped and twisted the ignition. Xiang Cheng said, I found out 1 week ago and I've been observing for a long time. The geisha hasn't sought him out. All of the hairs on Zhi Xiaoduo's body seemed to instantly rise at that. The man said, it's not the geisha. The association thinks that it's a superior of the geisha. They don't know how it found him. Bye, do your best. Xiang Cheng, wait. Old Kuang. The man drove the moped at a breakneck pace, and it was also a downhill slope about halfway down the mountain, so with a seng, he disappeared. Xiang Cheng chased after him for a few steps before chucking the butt of his cigarette to one side, standing there frustratedly and anxiously for a bit. He then turned and headed towards the tree that Zhi Xiaoduo was hiding behind. Zhi Xiaoduo turned to run, but Xiang Cheng appeared like a ghost behind Zhi Xiaoduo. Just as Zhi Xiaoduo was about to shout loudly, Xiang Cheng covered his mouth and Zhi Xiaoduo's voice was muffled. I told you not to come out, Xiang Cheng said in a low voice, his brows furrowed deeply. Wiavuwogugugu, Zhi Xiaoduo's eyes flicked back and forth, before his bright, shiny pupils stared fixedly at Xiang Cheng. Xiang Cheng was going to die from rage because of Zhi Xiaoduo as he released him. End chapter.